Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about all things Clarins. So they launched their Spring 2019 collection last week, I think. Was that when the event was? I can't remember. Either last week or the week before. And we got shade match for the new foundation as well, the Skin Illusion. So I'm going to use that. Also in the collection is the Instant Poreless Primer, which I'm very intrigued about. This is supposed to be pore blurring mattifying primer. I would enjoy these pores to go away please. And like I like to keep matte as well in the centre of my face. Look forward to giving that a go. And then they have two of these Glow to Go blush and highlighting duos. I have shade 01 and there is 02 as well, so I'm going to go through those. And then they have this dinky little palette. This is the Ready in a Flash palette. Hold on, wait, look there, look at the little holographic eyeball. And that's inside. You have two brow shades, two mattes and then two shimmers as well. So first up I'm going to go in with the Instant Poreless Primer. That's the size of the little tube that you get. How many mils? With 20 mils. That's like a lightweight gel consistency. I'll put like just a little bit more. That much. It smells really nice. It has like that Clarins scent. So if your skin can react to fragrance, just FYI. I have like rather large pores here and here and here and here. The only thing is it looks like it has kind of gathered on dry patches on my nose. But other than that, my skin feels lovely. I'll just wait for that to dry a little bit before I go in with my foundation. So we went to the launch there a couple of weeks ago and there was a makeup demo where we were shown how to use the products and everything, and I loved the look of this foundation. So this is the Skin Illusion Natural Hydrating Foundation. It has SPF 15 in it, which I don't mind wearing SPF in my foundations in the spring because I'm not out in the sun that much, but in the summer I would need to put an SPF under my foundation because that's like a whole nother video. I'll talk about that again. So I was shade matched to shade 110 Honey. I think it's a little bit too dark for me. Like it matches my face, but like my neck is so pale, and you'll see that I have to bring it like quite low down. And it has a little dropper mechanism, which I'm not crazy about. I prefer like a pump or like a little squeezy tube thing. This could be a little bit faffy, but so I'm trying to do this so you can see what I'm doing. So it's quite a runny liquid consistency. And I'm just using, what is this? This is the Jumbo Buffer 111 from Fuchsia. And I'm just going to mix it all around. Now the finish on this, it looks like my skin is just gorgeous. It like evens out the complexion. I'd say it gives like a medium level of coverage, but it is buildable. And you can see the difference between my face and my neck. Now I haven't blended it in properly yet, so don't worry yet. My friend Louise messaged me on Instagram when she saw that I was using this, and she was like, oh, I'm not sure if your skin will like it because her skin is quite dry, she said, and her skin loves it, and she wasn't sure if my oily bits would be happy with it. But I have to say, look at the radiance. I know that I'm a completely different shade, but I'll bring it down my neck, don't worry. But it just gives the illusion of really healthy looking skin. Oh my god, that's what the name of it is. Skin Illusion. Just got that now. Shut up. Anyway, so because it's a little bit darker, I just have to make sure that I bring it into the hairline, into the eyebrows. And just look, I can still see my pores there. Like the foundation is settling in there. So I don't know about the poreless primer just yet. And as I said, I've worn this a few times. I have powdered it each and every time just because I always do that anyway. Because I haven't to like be watching to see if my makeup is gone or not. I'm going to have to like bring it all the way down there. Or just, should I just put a jumper on? Or a scarf like. I think that the finish is gorgeous. It doesn't look like I'm wearing foundation, I don't think. Totally different colour to myself. I know, do you know, I need to get into wearing fake tan. In terms of finish, I just think it is gorgeous. There's a little bit of tackiness on the skin, so that's why I would usually powder my skin after I apply foundation, just to make sure it doesn't move because, oh my god, the effort of life. Yeah, I've worn this, as I said, a few times to work. It has stayed put all day once I powdered it, and I think it is a beautiful foundation. Just get a better shade match than I have. I know I said I usually powder my skin, but I'm going to wait until I use this. I haven't used this yet. So this is the Glow to Go #1 powder, or not powder, blush and highlight duo. So it looks like this. Very handy for travel. So you have the blush on one side, the highlight on the other, and this is 01 Glowy Pink. Now I have a couple of issues with this. Now first of all, this is €29, okay? And I understand that you get like two products in one, but this is my main issue with it. That's not very much product. Do you know? I would just love double that on either thing because it's like there's a lot of packaging and not an awful lot of product. Now I'm going to swatch both of them on the back of my hand so you can see first. So this is the blush. Beautiful. and it's one of those cream to powder formulas that blends really, really nicely, like so. Now, I'm not a big lover of pink blushes usually, but in the springtime I love them because I feel very like, oh my god, I'm fresh, I look lovely. And then the highlight, okay, I'm going to show you, that's the highlight there, and it's just a little bit holographic for me, do you know? Maybe it'll be nicer on. For me, usually I like to go for more of a champagne shade when it comes to highlight. I will give this a go and see, but I don't know. So this is my first time now applying it on the skin. I'm going to see if it moves the foundation around at all. It's a cute colour. That blends nicely with the fingers, but I'm just going to go in with my sponge just to give like that absolute flawless finish. I like it. So basically you're just like smacking your face with your finger. I kind of went a bit overboard on that side, but you know what? Story of my life. And if you didn't want to use a sponge, if you've applied too much like me, then I'd always recommend going in with your foundation brush or whatever's left. Kind of just go over the edges. That's pretty though. I might just add like a little bit more on this side. I'm going to ruin it now. Cute. Do you know, I think that's one of those blushes that would look really nice on bare skin. You know, if you're going for like a no makeup day. It hasn't moved my foundation and it looks like skin. Okay, so even though there's not an awful lot of product in there, I like the shade. I like the finish. I like it. Let's go in with the highlight. I hope this is nicer on. Oh. It just leans really purple on me. I feel like I look like a robot. I'm going to apply it on this side too, so you can see. I'm just very aware of that highlight. You know that when you have a champagne highlight or like a light gold one, it looks natural-ish. I love the finish of it. I love that it gives a sheen and it's not kind of glittery or chunky or anything. But it's just the colour. I just don't think it's for me. Because like in person it looks really blue toned pink almost, and I don't know, when I wear my highlights, yeah, as I said before, it's usually like a champagne colour or like a light gold, and it looks a little bit more natural. It looks like, oh my god, the sun is just like bouncing off your skin because it looks great, whereas this is just bouncing off my skin and it's reflecting back like pinky purple, and there is a little bit of foundation on the top part, so maybe apply it to your finger and then pat it on if you don't want much movement. But as I said, the formula is really nice and it dries. It's pretty much dry now. Like maybe Clarins are going for a younger kind of demographic, but I always think that like my mom loves Clarins. Like whenever anything Clarins comes in the door, she's always like, and I think she'd love the blush end of things. I'm not sure about that colour on her skin, do you know? Maybe I know what she'd say. She'd be like, I think that's for a younger person. She says that about makeup, about clothes, about everything. So I would say she would say that about that. But you know, I'll ask her and see what she says. But Clarins, just give me like an extra little bit of each thing and then I won't be mad at you. Okay, now I'm going to use the Ready at a Flash palette. This is the palette. So you have your brow shades, your two mattes here on the bottom, and then your two kind of eyelighters, I think they're called. Yeah, on the top. I'm going to use an angled brush and go in with the top shade. I'm still just using that top shade, but I'm going to go in with the darker shade now in a second on the tail of the brow because it just looks weird. This is my own issue because as I said, I'm used to using a brow pencil. I just find it easier and less faffy. I'm not a fan of the mirror because it's one of those plastic ones that kind of looks a little bit warped, so I have to hold it all the way up here, like close, all up in my face, so my eyebrows don't look warped. I just think my brows look gaudy. Like that one has issues. That one just looks real. Just gonna go in with the darker shade at the tail end of my brow. Yeah, the formula of these brow shades is really nice, really pigmented, really opaque. The angled brush that I'm using for the brows, it is the Sosu by SJ SE206. It's angled. So it's worth noting that if you don't have an angled brush, you're going to need to get one to get stuck in with those because it doesn't come with one. But that's also good because brushes that come with palettes usually aren't very good anyway. So it's just very aware of my eyebrows now. I feel that they're real in my face, on my face, looking at you going. But I think that's just personal preference. I usually like a brow pencil, as I said, so if you like a powder for your brows, you're going to love those. For the eyes, I think we're going to keep it simple, and I'm going to go in with this matte shade here first. That is a nice shade. I like it. just in the crease, and then I'm kind of buffing it out a little bit to give shadow and definition to the eyes, to my hooded eyes. Oh, I love that matte shade because I love that it's quite neutral. It's not too warm, it's not too cool. I'm going to go in with that same first shade under the eyes just to add definition. Okay, I really like that first shade. What I'm going to do now is go in with this brush. This is Blank Canvas E32. It's kind of like a more of a pointed dome precision brush with this shade into the crease and into the outer corner. Just make sure you tap off your brush. There is like a good bit of fallout and it seems to be catching just a little bit, like skipping on my eye, if that makes sense. But the shade itself is beautiful. It's like a burgundy shade. I'm going to go back in with the first brush just to blend everything together. Okay, the eyeshadow, it's not skipping on this side, so maybe that eye's just bonkedy. Okay, I think I'm going to take the middle shade, that shimmer shade. Will I do it with my finger? I'll try it with the brush and see what it's like, and then I'll go in with my finger just in case. I had to go in about 3 or 4 times just to pick up that little bit of colour. Not much colour payoff. I'm going to go in with my finger. That's better. Okay, finger all the way, lads. Oh, that sounded rude, but you know what I mean. Oh, that shade is gorgeous. Yeah, just much better when applied with the finger. Okay, and I'm going to forget the brush. I'm going to go in with another finger with this shade into the inner part here. So it's like that kind of goldy highlight shade. Oh my god, that's gorgeous. That's so nice. Oh, I love that now. I'm going to take that matte kind of burgundy shade with a pencil brush under the lower lashes, just on the outer half. I've opened up a brand new Super Volume Mascara from Clarins for this momentous occasion, which is one of my all-time favourite mascaras. It's real, like, dramatic and thick and unctuous, and those are the eyes done. Just gonna powder my bits really quickly, like I always would, just the centre bits. I think I'm gonna go back in with just a bit more blush. Just now that the eyes are done, I feel like my skin looks a little bit like it needs a little bit of satin. I think I look like a vision of spring, if I'm honest with you. Okay, let's recap. The foundation, I love that loads, and what I'm going to do is try it with a couple more different primers and different powders and see how they perform. But with my regular Charlotte Tilbury powder and with no primer, it lasts all day on me, and it looks really nicely. It doesn't collect in pores as the day goes on. Because this is a hydrating foundation, maybe those with drier skins would like this more. But as an oily skinned person, once I powder down my bits, it looks gorgeous on me and it stays put all day. I think I just need to get a lighter shade, ever so slightly. But yeah, it's beautiful. See, it looks nice on now. It doesn't look natural now that I have the rest of my makeup on. The Instant Poreless Primer, not sure about that yet. I'm going to give it a few more goes and see. I just felt that the foundation did sit in those pores even after I used that. But bear with me, I will report back on that when I try it a little bit more. So for the Glow To Go, I wish there was a little bit more product, and I love the blush. The highlight shade, just the shade itself isn't for me. The formula though is beautiful. So if you like your kind of these shades, no, then you're gonna like it. It's a no from me. It's just not a shade that I would reach for. But I will have a look at the other one as well and see what it's like. I think that's more kind of bronzy goldy. But with the exception of the foundation, but I think that's like a whole separate kind of launch. The palette is fab. I really like that. I just need to practice more with using powders on my brows. See, they look grand now that I have makeup on. Earlier on I was like, oh no, what have I done? I wish that the mirror was glass just so that I could see myself, because like when I hold it back here, it just looks a little bit skewed my face, and I know my face is a little bit skewed anyway, but I don't need any extra help. I think the matte shades are lovely. You kind of have to dig in a little bit with the brush just to get that product up, and there is a little bit of fallout, but they blend so nicely. The two eyelighters definitely work best when applied with the finger. I can't get nothing happening with the brush, unless maybe if I wet the brush, that might be better. But shades like these, they're quite common now in palettes, and I have learned that, yeah, fingers are usually the best way. But that is so cute, and it's handy. It's dinkety. It's a nice lightweight palette for travelling, and yeah, I'd say you can kind of get a few different looks out of it. And do you know what? I'd say you'd probably be able to use the brow shades as eyeshadows as well. There was a little bit of a mixed bag, but I hope I gave you some insight, and if there's anything that you would like to see more detail on in a blog post or maybe over on Insta stories, let me know. Thanks so much for watching, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. There's loads more videos coming up soon. Very excited. Bet into YouTube right now. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!